I'm going to say that most people, myself included, if given the choice, would prefer to have a genuine MRE over a commercial one. Or if they were stockpiling supplies, they'd rather have a case of genuine MREs over a case of commercial ones. Genuine ones have that cool factor of being the actual MRE, and they do tend to have more stuff and maybe in some cases some higher quality stuff, better accessory packs than most of the commercial ones. The one real problem with the genuine MREs is that unless you are in the military or work on a government installation or have connections with somebody who does one of those two things, you're probably going to have to get your genuine MREs on the secondary market, meaning places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, especially because of the fact that they're not supposed to be sold commercially. So although you still can get some, the problem is that getting them on the secondary market, there's a good chance you're going to be getting older MREs. If you're stockpiling supplies, you're going to want the newest stuff you can possibly get your hands on. True MREs are designed to last 3 to 5 years, but you don't really want to have 3-year-old MREs sitting in your stockpile. On the other hand, commercial MREs from the 3 companies that make genuine MREs, Ameriqual, Sapaco, and the Warner Company, as well as some of the other companies like Meal Kit Supply and XMRE, the advantage of those is you can buy those direct from the company, and so you can be either reasonably sure or you can be positive that your MREs were packed recently. A lot of times on the websites they'll tell you the pack date of the case that you're buying. And at the same time I do have to mention that one problem with these companies is that while they'll pack the things and send them out to you while they're very freshly packed, some of the components inside, some of the genuine MRE components inside can be older. They can be a few months old, they can be a year old, possibly I've seen even older than that. But for the most part, it's a pretty good deal as far as getting fresh MREs. So with all that in mind, I haven't done a Meal Kit Supply MRE in a long time. And the last time I did them was when I had first gotten a case, and they were very fresh. They were like less than a month old. So at this point, the ones I have left are now a little bit old. I don't know if you can even see this, but this has the date printed on it. This one has a date code on it of 3018. It's actually pretty hard to read here, but the case was from 3018, and most of the other ones were all stamped on the same day. So that means that this MRE is now getting close to being 3 years old. And this is what we're going to take a look at today. This is a Meal Kit Supply, menu number 1, spaghetti with beef and sauce. Now, as is the case with the Meal Kit Supply ones, they give you the menu right on the bag, which is a nice touch. And one of the advantages of the Meal Kit Supply ones is they do give you a side. So this one not only has the main meal of spaghetti with beef and sauce, it also has a side of gratin potatoes. You also get all the nutritional information right on the back of the bag, which is a nice touch too. Let's go ahead, and even though we know what's in here, go ahead and take a look anyway. Here's our spaghetti with beef and sauce in the old boxes. This has a date code of 2339, so it was towards the end of 2012. This one is actually, that's 3 years old. The Gratin Potatoes, 3011, so this was only packed about a week before the MRE was packed. Carbohydrate Electrolyte Beverage Powder, Grape flavor, in the big bag. Crackers, packed on the 10th day of 2013. Some cheese spread for that. A strawberry banana Dairyshake powder, a contour pouch so you can mix it right up in. A Meal Kit Supply flameless ration heater. Let's see how this works after almost 3 years. We've had some problems with these in the past, and with some age it could be even worse. And an accessory pack, which includes a brown MRE spoon, a napkin, instant coffee, creamer, and sugar, salt and pepper. Always a nice touch. Most of the commercial ones do have pepper. Most genuine MREs only have the salt. And a moist towelette. So as you can see, you're definitely getting a fair amount of food with this meal kit supply MRE. You have your standard 8-ounce entree, and you also have a 5-ounce side of gratin potatoes. And if that doesn't seem like enough food along with the crackers and the cheese spread, the Dairyshake powder beverage should really fill you up. And we'll start off by attempting to heat up the entree and the side. Spaghetti with beef and sauce. There's the nutrition facts if anyone's interested. You have gratin potatoes, nutrition facts. Now the meal kit supply ration heater is a really big one, much bigger than the regular ones. And the reason is because it's designed to actually wrap around the pouches as opposed to having them being put inside. We do still tear the top off and add a little bit of water to activate it. So we'll add water to the fill line. Right about there. And it says to immediately place the food on it, but I do want to make sure, just to be fair, make sure this thing works good. I want to make sure I have all the heating elements wet. And we're going to attempt to wrap it around both the entree and the side. Do it this way so the heating element is touching both pouches. Yeah, I'm supposed to fold it under, but with the two pouches there really isn't that much room. So then we'll put a rock or something on top of here and see how that goes. I can hear a little bit of reaction starting. I'll give it a few minutes. Alright, it's been a few minutes, and although I can hear a reaction going on, there really doesn't seem to be any heat at all. So I think in the interest of saving time, I'm just going to go ahead and put the pouches in some hot water. And I'll keep an eye on the heater though and see if it actually does anything. It seems to be trying to work, it's not being very effective about it. Alright, while the entree and side heat up on the stove, let's see what else we have. We have the standard MRE crackers. Get the hiss out of these. There it goes. It'll smell fine. And the cheese spread is pretty firm, so I'm going to go ahead and knead that for about 30 seconds. Alright, that seems to be pretty good. A little notch off here. That's really all there is to eat. We have a bunch of beverages. There's the strawberry banana Dairyshake powder. It only takes 6 ounces of water. You can use the convenient fill line here if you don't have something to measure the water with. Just tear the top off. It smells like strawberry quick, an old powder that you would mix with milk to make a strawberry milk. I guess there's a little bit of an artificial banana smell in there too. Zip the top up, and you're going to want to shake this for probably a good minute. And see if that's enough. The milkshakes and the instant puddings tend to need a lot of shaking. pretty smooth. Actually, you don't even see the, there's a little bit, oh yeah, there's little white dots in there from the banana. Not too bad. The Grape Carbohydrate Electrolyte Beverage Powder, it does come in this large bag, which it's possible to mix it in, but it tends to be kind of messy. And Meal Kit Supply does not supply a hot beverage bag. So I'm just going to use 12 ounces of water. Mix it up in there. I actually haven't had the grape in a long time. There's a weird smell when you get close to it. I think it could be the bag, but from further away it just has that artificial grape smell. There's your blue grape juice. Gonna be a pretty colorful meal. And we just have our coffee. We'll add the creamer and sugar. Obviously you could have it black if you want. And as someone had suggested, you certainly could just make up the coffee and then add the creamer and the sugar to your taste. But since I'm not really a coffee drinker, let's go ahead and put it all in at once. Smells like your standard instant coffee. And just as an update on the flameless ration heater, I did put it aside and it did end up getting pretty warm. It's almost too hot to touch, but not quite. And I think it's hot. And I'm sure that would be, in the field, it'd be nice to at least warm up your stuff, but I did want to have it nice and warm for review. So here they are, fresh out of the hot water, and they're very hot right now. Here's the Gratin Potatoes. It's definitely nice when they can be hot like that. And now we'll take a look at an old standby. Spaghetti with meat sauce has been around, I believe, since MREs were first introduced in 1980. Along with the beef stew, it's one of those things that you just always expect to find in MREs. And actually, even before MREs, they had them in C rations too. And of course, most people are pretty familiar with this type of thing from the canned pastas like the Chef Boyardee and the Franco-American. So there's our spaghetti with beef and sauce MRE from Meal Kit Supply. Let's give this a try. Spaghetti, as expected, is like your standard canned spaghetti. Has that smell to it. It's not bad though. Let's get some nice little chunks of beef there. And these short strands of spaghetti, which make it, I guess, a little less messy if you're trying to eat this in the field. Try this out. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't mind canned pasta, you should like this. I like the chunks of beef. It's almost like having like mini meatballs in it. And it tastes fine. It has a processed kind of a taste to it, but that's what it is. The beef is definitely a processed kind of a thing. But it's pretty flavorful. We do have the salt and pepper, but I don't think I even need to add it to that. The potatoes, on the other hand, could be another story. In addition to having cream, these also have what they're calling a dehydrated blend of cheeses. But the only one they actually mention in the ingredients is blue cheese. It mentions blue cheese, cheddar cheese powder, and cheese culture. So I would expect this to be pretty cheesy, which should be flavorful, but I have had this before and found it to be a little on the bland side, kind of surprisingly. It's actually really good. It's got kind of a, it definitely has a cheesy flavor to it, almost a little smoky. And it is an artificial kind of a cheese flavor. It actually kind of reminds me of cheese puffs. But the important thing is it's not bland. Certainly somebody who wants their food spicy could add some hot sauce to the spaghetti and the potatoes, but I'm actually pretty happy with it just the way it is. We have our cheese spread. Obviously I had a very small hole in the pouch, made for an interesting little design there. Your standard salty kind of a cheese spread, like a cheese whiz type of thing. I've always liked it. Some people don't like it, but if you like cheese whiz, you'll like it. Let's try the Grape Beverage powder drink. It's pretty good. Tastes like a Kool-Aid kind of a thing, or a Gatorade. There's that artificial grape sort of a flavor to it, despite the blue coloring. We have our strawberry banana Dairyshake, which again, it definitely has an artificial flavor to it, but you can certainly taste the strawberry. I guess this is a little bit of a hint of banana in there too. Nothing wrong with that. And the last thing we have is the instant coffee, which tastes like just fine instant coffee. So that was a look at an MRE from Meal Kit Supply. Menu number 1, spaghetti with beef and sauce from 2013. Thank you for watching. What the heck? Let's gun dog it up a little. Some cheese spread and some crackers. I will skip the hot sauce though. Good stuff.